it's Holly. In today's video, we have some gossip to talk about, which is the new Keepsake collection. Yes, there is some new information regarding the 2023 Keepsake collection, and as always, it appears to come out of the blue. And I'm very, very excited about this one, and very fortunate that it appears that Canada might be one of the first countries, if not the first country, to receive it. So I cannot wait to get into this with you. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so here it is on Amazon. So there's a few things that I want to point out about this, which is really interesting. One is that typically you could find these Keepsake sets on the Mattel website before they got launched. So if you recall, if you go back to previous Polly Talk videos, when we were talking about the 2022 Keepsake collection, which was Mermaid Dreams and the Royal Jewelry set, those were both visible in the Mattel service website area. So they have a section where you can look at like all the toys that are coming out that year, previous toys, basically anything related to current Mattel stuff is in there, and you can still find all of that stuff, but you can't find the set. So I find that really, really interesting. So that's the first thing that's kind of unique about this scenario. Now it appears to only be on Amazon Canada so far, which also interesting, but Canada has historically, at least over the last few years, seemed to get a few things first, and I don't know why. Doesn't really make sense to me, but I'm not going to complain about it. However, some people said that they were able to purchase this. I don't know what the purchase price was. I'm going to guess it was probably around $40. That seems to be consistent with the other sets. Maybe on the high end $50 because this one does light up, but that would be my best guess. In the US, I would expect this to probably retail somewhere between $35 and $40 if I had to guess. So interesting to see how this is going to play out. So some people have been able to place an order, but since then it's gone out of stock, and who knows if and when it'll ship for them. But what we do know is that last year, from the sets being a rumor to seeing a picture to them being in our hands, all happened very quickly. So that bodes well for this. And I'm trying to think of when it was last year that those sets came out, but it's been a while. However, we know that they're out there. So I think that it's probably, hopefully, only going to be a few months until we actually see these sets somewhere, whether it's online or in stores or what have you. So let's take a deeper look at this because it's very consistent with the other Keepsake collection, so I don't think it's fake or anything. It looks very authentic. But they did make what I believe is a change, which I find quite interesting. So here's the listing on Amazon.ca. It's difficult to find it. If you're searching for it on Amazon.ca, my best tip would be that there is a filter that shows include items out of stock, and that's how you can get it to pop up in the search. Of course, I'm going to put a link in the description if you want to click on it and check this one out. Sometimes links break, so depending on when you're watching this, that may or may not work. But that's how I located this on the Amazon.ca website, was checking the filter to say show things that are out of stock as well. So now that we've got this here, really, really interesting set. As you know, I've done a tour on this set before. We just tested one the other day that unfortunately didn't work. But this is one of my favorite sets from my childhood. And if I click on this, we can take a bit of a better look at it. So it's very consistent with the previous Keepsake collection in the sense that they've gone with these more saturated colors, dark purple, hot pink. You're seeing a lot more saturated colors rather than those pastel, those more muted colors that we're used to in vintage Polly Pockets. I will say I'm a bit concerned looking at this already in terms of the quality of the dolls. I don't think that that has improved, and that was a huge complaint on the 2022 sets. It seems like the paint quality is not looking great, and quite frankly, if you look at the two dolls on the right, they don't look great either. So I'm a bit concerned about that. The fashions do look a little bit different, and we'll look at the original in a moment, but just there are a few things here that I notice are a little bit different, but for the most part, just paint so far. Same mechanism down below, so the curtains appear to slide. The table, when you push the cart next to the table, will rotate, so you should be able to see the different place settings. They have I think an empty plate, a dinner setting, and then a dessert setting are the three. This here, where my cursor is the button to turn the lights on and off. Looks like the fridge opens. It looks like everything else structurally is the same all the way down to over here on the right, the CD player. So they really kept the same mold. But here's what I find really interesting. So if we look at the box art, again, very consistent with the existing Keepsake collection stuff. I love that they put a bow on top because of course this set has a bow on it. No idea what the back of the packaging looks like. Really excited to see that. But if we look down here, you'll notice that it's called Starlight Dinner Party. And that is not the original name of the set. So there's Starlight Castle. But this particular set that some people refer to as the candy box set was actually called Star Bright Dinner Party. So that's really interesting to me. So they changed it, and I don't know if there was some kind of focus group done where they thought that it was more in line with the Starlight Castle set, if they felt like Star Bright was going to be not easy for people to look up. I don't know, but I find that very, very interesting because Starlight Dinner Party is not the name of the set, so they have renamed it. So just to look at the original, here is what the original looks like. So again, the dolls, I guess the fashions look similar in terms of the short dress. Yeah, they do look pretty similar. I can see that the Polly, so the idea was that Polly could change her outfit, right? So it comes with two Pollys, one in a more casual outfit and then one in like an evening wear outfit for her dinner party. And then that closet door slides so she can get changed in there. But here's something that's kind of interesting. I can tell that she has a bow in her hair in this new one, and in the previous one it was just like a scrunchie in an updo. So there is a bit of change to the figures. Again, I'm a little concerned about the paint quality on the new one, but we'll have to wait and see. That's always the hard part too, is that if this is an online exclusive, you don't have the ability to like eyeball it in the store, which can make, you know, getting one that's in good condition challenging without buying multiples, which again, I'm not a fan of that. I would prefer that people have access to the sets, whoever wants to purchase one. So I'm not condoning hoarding here. But we'll see. I am nervous about that, just looking at this. And again, it could be a poor quality photo, but let me know what you think. I don't think it looks very good there. So other than that, looks very similar. Again, just different colors. And, you know, maybe my comment about the saturated colors isn't very accurate here, because this particular set actually was probably one of the most saturated ones. But they've gone in with that same color palette that they've been using for the Keepsake collection. So again, very, very excited to see it. One of my favorite things about this set as a kid was the doors, and you can't see the doors in this photo, so I hope that they kept them. The texture of the doors is a very soft plastic. It's very gummy-like, clear plastic, and I just found that really, really interesting. So we'll see if they kept that. I don't know if I can zoom in a little bit there. but we'll see. So yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. It's funny, these things just kind of pop up out of the blue, and it's exciting, but then there's no more information. We can't find more information on the Mattel website, whereas last time we could. So really, really interesting. And I know that someone had predicted this when we had been talking about Keepsake Collection in terms of what people would like to see brought back or what they think will be brought back. So seeing this, seeing that they're really running with this idea of the light up set again. Of course, we had Starlight Castle in 2021. Makes me wonder if they're going to do a Pollyville one soon. Specifically, I wonder if they would go as far as to do the mansion, or if they would stick with another light up set. But I feel like that mansion is so iconic, but it's big. So I'm wondering now what their plans are here. But this, I think, is a really encouraging step forward, because it's kind of midway between that vintage Polly Pocket era. This set originally was 1994. Of course, the years that they are stamped with are 89 through 97. So knowing that, it means that they're not shying away from the stuff that is newer, on the newer side of that era, because this is pretty far along into it, so a little over halfway. So I'm curious to see if they'll keep going that way. Who knows? They have remade the supermarket in the past. There was a 2006 remake, but they were really low quality, if I'm being perfectly honest with you on how I feel about them. And they didn't light up. And I think the point of a light up set is you want it to light up. So I'm glad that they're doing this correctly by having these light up sets light up. And of course we don't see it here, but we have that verification just purely on that sticker that's there. So, it's a good sign. But I think, there's so many good sets that they could really work with. And I'm excited to see if we're just going to get one this year, or if they're going to continue the trend of doing two like last year. If the other one will be from the vault, or never before seen design, or maybe a new one imagined in that vintage style. I'm just really, really curious. So as always, I would love to hear your thoughts, but that is the word on the street here with the new Keepsake collection for 2023. Okay, so that is the scoop related to the Keepsake collection. Again, would love to hear your thoughts on all of that. Of course, all we can do at this point is speculate, because we don't have any more information on the Mattel website. I did a deep dive just in case before recording this video. So, of course, if I find anything, I'll share it with you, but so far, that's all we've got. So I am very, very excited to hear more, but that's all the information we have for now. But still thrilled. I can't wait to get my hands on one. Now, regarding the auction, still planning to do that on Saturdays, so it's going to be on April 15th. Am I doing the math right? Yes, April 15th, 10 a.m. Pacific time. So that will be noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. I'll let you do the math from there. But really, really looking forward to it. So here's the thing. I've been trying to figure out what the shipping looks like for it, and I have not been able to find a clear answer. Their help file is not very good. So I shouldn't say it's not very good, but it's not very clear for Canadians. Canadians are used to being a bit of an afterthought. So I have reached out and I have just requested some clarification on that, because I want to ensure that the shipping is not going to be outrageous. My understanding is that it's going to start around the $10, $11 mark and then increase, hopefully by weight, in a way that makes sense. However, I'm not fully clear on that. If the shipping is outrageous, we might have to rethink this in terms of how we want to do this, because I don't want that to be a barrier for anyone. It just kind of defeats the purpose. So if we have to go to a different platform, I don't want to, but if we have to, because of shipping, which I should have an answer hopefully in the next 2-3 days here. If we have to go to another platform, what would be your ideal platform? Would it be going live on YouTube? What do you think would work best? I'm open to all your thoughts on that, but fingers crossed that it's going to be better news than how it's reading on the website to me right now. But it's really unclear, so I'll just report back with what I find. But again, would also love to hear your thoughts on that. This room is a disaster. I am a huge mess over here that I'm working through. So working on getting all of the polys organized. Thank you for your comments on the past video, letting me know which sets you want me to prioritize. So I think what I'm going to do for the next video, just ahead of the auction, is I'm going to try to come up with a schedule to give you an idea of what order I plan to auction them in, just so that people can kind of have an idea of, again, what is going to be available, and then roughly what order I'll go in, you know, being mindful that people have certain things that they're looking for, so I can try to do those all fairly close together. Yeah, that's it for me for this week. It's Easter Sunday. We're not a particularly religious family, so we haven't really done anything today other than eat a bunch of chocolate. That's, I feel like, the correct thing to do when you're going to have a long weekend. So feeling a little bit of a brain fog from eating lots of sugar and candy and stuff. But that's all I have to report. That's it. I don't know what else I can ramble on about, so I'm just going to cut this off. So again, as always, if you haven't hit subscribe, please hit the subscribe button. Free to do. I bring out videos on Mondays and Thursdays, and you can also find me on social media. Just look up Pocket Vintage Toys. You'll find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Those are the best places to connect with me outside of YouTube. But I am going to turn off my brain for the day, I think is the best thing for me to do at this point. So as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.